Every man over 40 wants to stay strong, build muscle, and feel his best. But let's be real. Your body doesn't bounce back like it used to. The workouts that worked in your 20s and 30s, some of them could now be doing more harm than good. The truth is, certain exercises put unnecessary stress on your joints, weaken your recovery, and increase your risk of long-term injuries. Injuries that could keep you out of the gym for months. In this video, I'm breaking down 10 exercises every man over 40 should avoid. More importantly, I'll give you safer, more effective alternatives so you can keep making gains, stay injury-free, and train smarter, not harder. Let's get started. 1. Dumbbell flies. Dumbbell flies look like a great chest-building exercise, but for men over 40, they can be a recipe for disaster. At first glance, flies seem simple. You lie on a bench, lower the dumbbells in a wide arc, and squeeze your chest at the top. But as we age, this movement can cause more harm than good due to the extreme stretch and excessive stress on the shoulders and chest tendons. Why dumbbell flies are risky after 40. Extreme shoulder joint stress. When you lower the dumbbells, your shoulders enter deep external rotation, putting immense pressure on the rotator cuff and labrum. If you already have shoulder pain, past injuries, or reduced mobility, this movement exacerbates existing issues and increases the risk of tears. Overstretching the chest muscles and tendons. Many lifters try to go too deep, thinking a bigger stretch means more muscle activation. But at the bottom of the movement, the pec tendons are stretched to their limits, making them prone to microtears or even serious pec tears. As we age, connective tissue loses elasticity, making it easier to strain or tear these critical stabilizing structures. No functional strength benefit. Flies isolate the chest, but they don't mimic any real-world pressing movements and don't provide significant carryover to strength-based exercises like push-ups or presses. You're putting your shoulders and chest at risk for an exercise that has minimal long-term benefits. Dumbbells create unstable, high-risk positions. Since each arm moves independently, there's no external stabilization, meaning your weaker side can struggle, leading to uneven stress on the joints and increased injury risk. If you lose control at the bottom, you can seriously injure your shoulders or chest. Instead of dumbbell flies, try incline machine chest press. Provides chest activation without excessive stretch, reducing joint stress. The fixed range of motion keeps the movement safe while still building muscle. Cable chest flies with a controlled range of motion. Cables allow for a constant, smooth tension, reducing the risk of overstretching. You can adjust the movement to avoid extreme shoulder rotation. Push-ups, weighted or resistance band. Push-ups engage the chest, shoulders, and core while putting far less strain on the joints. They allow for better scapular movement, making them safer for long-term shoulder health. 2. Leg press. The leg press seems like a safe way to build your legs, but for men over 40, it can cause more problems than it solves. While it's great for isolating your quads, it also puts your lower back and knees at serious risk if done incorrectly, or even if done correctly with too much weight. Spinal compression and disc damage. When you sit in a leg press machine, your lower back is fixed against the pad, but as you lower the weight, your pelvis can tuck under. This is called posterior pelvic tilt, and it forces your spine into a rounded position. Under heavy weight, this can put massive pressure on the spinal discs, increasing the risk of herniated discs and chronic lower back pain. Knee overload and ligament strain. The leg press encourages some lifters to lock out their knees at the top, which removes tension from the muscles and places all the force onto the knee joint itself. Over time, this can wear down the cartilage in your knees and contribute to arthritis, pain, and instability. Encourages ego lifting. Many guys stack on way too much weight on the leg press, but because it doesn't require as much stabilization as a squat, it gives you a false sense of strength. This leads to bad habits, poor form, and higher risk of injury. Instead of leg press, try goblet squats. These keep your spine in a natural position while forcing your core and legs to work together. Bulgarian split squats. These single leg movements not only build strength but improve stability, mobility, and balance. 3. Deadlifts. The deadlift is often called the king of all lifts, but for men over 40, it's also one of the riskiest exercises you can do. Yes, it builds overall strength, but let's be honest, the risk is not worth the reward once your body starts aging. Even professional powerlifters struggle with deadlift-related injuries, and they have coaches, perfect form, and years of training experience. Why deadlifts are dangerous after 40? Your lower back takes a beating. As you age, your spinal discs naturally lose water content, making them less flexible and more prone to injury. Heavy deadlifts put intense compression forces on your lumbar spine, increasing the risk of herniated discs, sciatica, and chronic lower back pain. If your core or glutes are weak, your lower back takes on too much of the load, leading to muscle strains and long-term pain. Fatigue. Even if you start with perfect deadlift form, fatigue can cause your lower back to round, your shoulders to slump, and your hips to shoot up too fast. A slight rounding of the lower back under a heavy load can cause immediate injury, and it only takes one bad rep to put you out of the gym for months. Risk of hamstring and bicep tears. As you age, tendon elasticity decreases, meaning your muscles and tendons don't recover like they used to. Many lifters over 40 have suffered hamstring tears or even bicep ruptures from overloading the deadlift, especially when pulling heavy or using a mixed grip. Instead of deadlifts, try trap bar deadlifts. The weight is centered rather than in front, reducing stress on your lower back. Allows for a more upright torso, making it safer for aging spines. Romanian deadlifts. RDL focuses on hamstring and glute strength while keeping the lower back protected. Uses lighter weight with less spinal loading. Kettlebell swings. Builds explosive power and posterior chain strength while keeping the movement dynamic and controlled. Less spinal compression than deadlifts. If you're serious about training smarter and staying injury-free, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe right now. It takes just a second, and it helps me bring you more content to keep you strong and pain-free for years to come. Now let's get into the next exercise you should avoid. 4. Upright row with barbell. Upright rows have long been considered a great exercise for shoulder and trap development, but if you're over 40, they can be a joint killer, especially for your shoulders, wrists, and elbows. Here's why this exercise is a bad idea. High risk of shoulder impingement. When you pull the barbell up, your shoulders are forced into internal rotation, meaning your upper arm bone, humerus, presses against the acromion, part of the shoulder blade. This can pinch the tendons and bursa, leading to impingement syndrome, inflammation, and chronic pain. Rotator cuff wear and tear. The rotator cuff muscles stabilize your shoulder, but upright rows place them in an awkward, stressed position. Over time, this increases the risk of rotator cuff tendinitis or even full-blown tears. Wrist and elbow stress. The close grip and upward pulling motion put your wrists in an unnatural position, increasing strain on your tendons. This can lead to wrist pain, forearm tightness, and even tendinitis over time. Instead of upright row, try face pulls with a rope attachment. These work the rear delts and traps but in a safer joint-friendly motion. Dumbbell lateral raises. This isolates the side delts without forcing internal rotation. 5. Traditional crunches. If you've been doing crunches for years thinking they're the best way to get abs, I've got bad news. They're actually one of the worst core exercises you can do as you age. Here's why crunches aren't worth it. Spinal compression. Crunches put repeated pressure on your lower back. The constant flexion, bending forward, can compress your spinal discs, increasing the risk of bulging or herniated discs over time. Neck strain. Many people pull on their neck while doing crunches, leading to neck pain, stiffness, and even headaches after workouts. Not the best for core strength. Crunches mainly target the rectus abdominis, six-pack muscles, but ignore deeper core muscles like the transverse abdominis and obliques, which are more important for stability and posture. Instead of crunches, try planks. Engage your entire core without spinal compression. Dead bugs. Strengthen your deep core muscles and protect your spine. 6. Free weight bench press. The bench press has been a staple in strength training for decades. But for men over 40, it can be one of the most dangerous chest exercises if not done correctly. While it builds strength and size, the risks far outweigh the rewards, especially as your joints and connective tissues lose elasticity and resilience with age. Why the bench press is risky after 40. Rotator cuff vulnerability. Your rotator cuff muscles, which help stabilize your shoulder, are more prone to wear and tear after years of use. The barbell locks your arms into a fixed range of motion, forcing the shoulders into deep external rotation, which can aggravate old injuries or create new ones. A weak or fatigued rotator cuff can cause instability, making it easier to strain or tear a muscle. Imbalance in strength between arms. A barbell forces both arms to lift together, which hides muscle imbalances. Over time, one side compensates for the weaker side, leading to uneven development, strain, and potential injury. This can exacerbate shoulder pain and create long-term movement issues. Excessive load on the joints. As we age, joint cartilage wears down. Heavy bench pressing compresses the shoulder and elbow joints, leading to chronic inflammation, stiffness, and even arthritis. If you've had previous injuries, heavy pressing can cause flare-ups, bursitis, or even labrum tears. Pec tears and chest strains. Many men try to lift the same weight they did in their younger years, ignoring decreased flexibility and recovery ability. This can lead to pec strains or worse, a pec tear, which is a serious injury requiring months of recovery. Instead of try dumbbell bench press or incline dumbbell press. 7 diamond push-ups. Diamond push-ups look like a simple triceps exercise, but they aren't joint-friendly, especially as you get older. While they target the triceps effectively, they come at the cost of wrist, elbow, and shoulder health. Why diamond push-ups are problematic after 40 wrist strain and carpal tunnel risk. Placing your hands close together in a diamond shape forces extreme wrist extension, which can cause pain and inflammation over time. If you have existing wrist issues or carpal tunnel syndrome, this position aggravates the problem. Elbow overuse and tendinitis. The closed hand position puts enormous strain on the elbow tendons, increasing the risk of triceps tendinitis, golfer's elbow. Over time, repetitive diamond push-ups can lead to chronic pain and stiffness in the elbows. Shoulder joint compression. The narrow hand position forces your shoulders into internal rotation, which puts unnecessary stress on the rotator cuff. This can increase the risk of impingement and front shoulder pain with repeated use. Instead of diamond push-ups, try close grip bench press with dumbbells, parallel bar dips, assisted or weighted triceps rope pushdowns. 8. Behind the head shoulder press. This old-school exercise is one of the worst things you can do for your shoulders as you age. It might have been popular decades ago, but modern research shows it's a high-risk, low-reward movement. Why the behind-the-head press is dangerous after 40 extreme shoulder rotation equals impingement risk. This movement forces the shoulders into extreme external rotation, increasing the risk of impingement syndrome. Repeated stress in this position can lead to chronic inflammation or even a torn rotator cuff. Neck strain and spinal compression. Pressing the bar behind your head forces you to push your neck forward, which can lead to neck stiffness, headaches, and upper back pain. Over time, this can contribute to postural issues and even nerve compression. Lack of mobility equals higher injury risk. Many men lack the shoulder mobility to safely perform this exercise without compensating, leading to joint stress and eventual injury. Instead of try dumbbell shoulder press, Arnold press, landmine press. 9 front raises for shoulders. Front raises seem harmless, but they aren't necessary for most men over 40, and they can actually create more problems than they solve. Why front raises are a bad idea after 40. Front delts are already overworked. The front delts get plenty of work from bench presses, push-ups, and overhead pressing. Adding front raises can create muscle imbalances, leading to shoulder pain and posture issues. Shoulder impingement risk. Lifting a weight straight in front of you can cause tendon compression in the shoulder joint, leading to chronic pain or bursitis. Instead of trilateral raises, reverse flies. 10. Plyometric exercises. Plyometric exercises like box jumps, burpees, and depth jumps are great for explosive power, but they're also a recipe for disaster if you're over 40. As we age, our joints, tendons, and recovery ability aren't what they used to be. High impact. Repetitive movements like plyometrics increase the risk of injury without offering enough benefits for most men over 40. Increased risk of knee injuries. Exercises like box jumps and burpees put immense stress on the knee joints, especially if you have past injuries, arthritis, or reduced cartilage cushioning. Higher chance of Achilles tears. The Achilles tendon loses elasticity with age, making explosive movements a leading cause of Achilles ruptures, which require months of recovery and possibly surgery. Poor landing mechanics equals higher injury risk. As we get older, our ability to absorb impact declines. A bad landing from a box jump or a poorly executed burpee can lead to ankle sprains, knee strains, or lower back injuries. Longer recovery time. In your 20s, you might recover from a high-impact workout quickly. But after 40, recovery takes longer, and these types of exercises increase inflammation and joint stress, leading to chronic pain or lingering soreness. Instead of tri-step UPS with weights, strengthen your legs and glutes with less impact on the joints. Low-impact cardio, rowing, cycling, swimming. Keep your heart strong without pounding your joints. Controlled jump training, land softly. If you want explosive power, limit reps, focus on soft landings, and avoid high-impact depth jumps. Getting older doesn't mean you have to slow down. It just means you have to train smarter. By avoiding these risky exercises and choosing safer, more effective alternatives, you'll protect your joints, build muscle efficiently, and keep crushing your workouts for years to come. Remember, longevity is the key. The goal isn't just to be strong today. It's to stay strong, pain-free, and active for life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let me know what exercise has caused you the most trouble and what topic you want me to cover next. Thanks for watching. Now go train smart, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.